mitigated at each turn, and I think there were negotiations that we had. At the same time, we actually think that this is an opportunity, and a development opportunity, that we can ensure that there are real job opportunities here in Los Angeles and the region for people of color, for people who actually need job opportunities. That there's a real opportunity for people to actually live in Los Angeles. There was a conversation about New Orleans a minute ago, and I will tell you, as the former CEO of the Urban League of New Orleans, Coach Katrina, that New Orleans in a large respect is being rebuilt without New Orleans being considered. And the concern for me is that if we aren't really smart about how we're developing our communities right now and providing a space for people who are in that mid-level income area, they will never be able to live there. They will never be able to have an opportunity. So we're going to have large things like the Shrine in the area. We're going to have things like Kaiser being built in the area. But we will not have the people who actually should be in there. And that's people who are living here and from here and who can afford to be in there. So we do enthusiastically support this, but we support it for a reason that we better be smart about economic development and actually be able to have developers who we can say that what's important in your development is not just what you build, but it's how you build it. It's who builds it. It's who's going to live in it. And most importantly, how we can talk about the impact that this is going to have positively on the economy of people, ensuring that there's opportunity to put food on the table, opportunity to put our children through school, and at the same time creating a safe housing environment for them. So we do believe that there are challenges that are being worked through now, but at the same time we do think that there's a very smart way to look at what this opportunity actually provides for people who are here, people who need housing, so that we don't have an outward migration of those who are in the middle class, an outward migration of those who are in those people of color, any more than we've already had to this point. We need an inward migration of people in the middle class and people of color, and stop the bleeding that's actually happening right now. We think that this is a part of the solution. This is not a whole solution, but I think smart development is a part of the solution, and we believe that that's what we're seeing here. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, my name is Henry Woods.
You got 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, I'd like to say, I used to live in the community on downwards of about County years ago. Since that time, I came here when I was 22. I came here when I was 22. I'm now 63 years old. I now live across the street at 800 West First Street. I've been here over 15 years with the condo market at the top of the community. I love to move back to the community. I find myself there at least 3 times a week because I have friends in View Park, all of those, etc. But I like to just focus on a couple of things. First of all, I have at least 20 of my friends who love to buy in the community. I must admit the short answer for individuals who really can't be here. There's a number of people in the working class that just can't be here. Also show their strong support, at least over 300 to some of the petition. I also like to say about the traffic. One thing about the traffic in the neighborhood, that's the number that's going to happen. You got Slauson on one side, you got Platypus on the other side, you got Crenshaw Car, they're constantly working. And nowadays, I used to remember the day that I used to just look for my shortcuts. Now what I do is grab my GPS. And everybody's grabbing their GPS and going through the community. That's just an apple. This is the way I live in Los Angeles. I remember at the time we talked about change is going to come. Sam Cook back in the day, okay? I remember Howard Yeller, when he first did the Rock Island Bill, which I worked with him on that day. He said downtown would be what it is. Look at downtown all the way now. I mean, so change is inevitable, so we have to embrace it. I'm not saying that everything is right about what's going on here, but we really need to have a close look at everything about it. The environmental part of it, as long as that meets the standard that it should be, and all rights and things like that, I think the project should go on. I think it's needed. I think it's well deserved. I'm not always going to proponent for such calls in this project, so I'll be honest about it. But I must admit, the community should apply itself because by them keep beating on their beat on, they couldn't chisel to do a great project. I mean, to me, it looks like Beverly Hills or Brentwood. It's the type of project that could be there. So I commend the community for that, but right now I think it's about time for us to really take a look at something that's going to change the community and help uplift the community. Now, I'm not economic development, regardless of the city, regardless of the country. I think it's a good opportunity for the community to look at it the right way. That's all I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next 4 speakers are Sandra Nadeau, Tanya Asher, Flo Ward, and Michelle Wallace.
college can come forward. You have 3 minutes if you want to use it. And if you state your name for the record and go ahead and begin. Welcome.
My name is Michelle Wallace. I'm here to show my full support for the project. Greetings to the commissioners first of all. I took off from work today to show my support for the project. And I was raised in America Park. I recently moved from America Park. I purchased a home in Baltimore Vista. I had a home in America Park that I sold and purchased in Baltimore Vista. My 86-year-old mother currently lives in a family home in America Park. And after hearing about the project, my mother and I became very excited about the project because this would be an opportunity for her to downsize and move from her home in Monroe Park and move to a luxury type home. That would make it a lot easier for her as opposed to the two-story home that she currently has. It's my desire to purchase a unit with my mother for her to reside in. And this project will allow her to stay in the community that she very much likes. Right now, I don't think that there's anything of the caliber of what I'm hearing this project will be that will really someplace where she can feel at home and feel in the same kind of environment that she currently resides in. So I'm excited that the developer that also lives in the community and he cares about the community. And I think that it's important to him from what I'm hearing, because I've gone to several presentations, that it's important for him to give us the type of environment that we will feel suits the neighborhood. So in closing, I am in full support of this project. Like I said, my mother is not able to be here today, but she's very excited and she's asked me almost every other month, you know when we're going to start, you know when it's going to. So I asked Darren today actually on the bus, when will it start and how long will it take? So that I can get that information to them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. My name is Tanya Asher, and I am a resident of Eden Heights. So my neighborhood will be affected by this project as well. I'm in opposition to it. If you look at the map of the 5-point intersection there, with the traffic going south on Overhill only, it crosses over Slauson, the exit. So people are exiting the building and go down Overhill to Slauson and go right usually to get where they need to be. However, Overhill extends further, about a mile from the project site, down to a stop sign, and that's the end of Overhill. And then it makes a right to La Brea on Fairview, which is now, that's considered Inglewood, North Inglewood. There are developments proposed down on Stockard and Don Felipe that are being in works. There's a development on Sentinel and La Cienega, right next to Pan's in that area, some new luxury buildings that are geared towards Playa Vista tech companies, the people working for those industries. There are a number of impacts that are coming our way to that 5-point intersection. So I am below Slauson on 58th Street, and my exit route to work to get down to Culver City it's a horrible commute to go 3 miles. I go 3 miles to work, and if I don't leave by 6:30, it's almost a 45-minute commute. My concern too is with the Bedford group. The video is great. I know that Playa Vista shows down the street. As residents, people who are moving their neighborhood, they don't necessarily look like us. I'll be honest, they're just residents. And so I'm looking at this, like, how are you going to guarantee people of color or in your videos that that's what the majority of your income, your makeup of your building is going to be honest. 5% of a 88% or 88 building is 4 units for moderate income. 10% is 8 units for moderate income. You can count on a bidding war happening for those units. Those units will have views. They are not going to go for $400,000. You already have bidding wars in our community for a house. People are overbidding each other $50,000 to get into our neighborhoods. And you think you can count on that not happening for those units. And I doubt that it will be predominantly people of color, in my opinion. Not to say that that's not okay, but I'm just saying I don't think that will And if it's 5%, you're asking for 10%, is the county going to give something in return? Most developers don't get, if the county wants a increase in affordable units, then usually the developers want something in return. They want a high increase or more units. So that's a question one too.
Thank you very much.
Before you call the next speaker, I know there's a deputy for the supervisors here. Before you leave, I'll have to hear where the supervisor stands on this.
Generally, we don't have the supervisor's office speak on these matters because this could be appealed up to the supervisor.
I'd like to have a last call for Sandra Nadeau and Flo Ward. And then the next four speakers are Bernice Evans, Beleda Mercier, Gina Lofton, and Janice Watson.
Welcome. Thanks for being here. You can state your name for the record and go ahead and begin.
All right, thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Gina Lofton. I reside in Ladera Heights, which is the community just adjacent to the park. I'm not as impacted by the project as others in this community, as you've heard from them earlier today. But over the course of many decades, I've witnessed the development of strip malls, liquor stores, and churches throughout my neighborhood, in all major industries throughout the U.S. Many of the housing delivered during this time frame has either been affordable housing, that is 100% affordable housing, subsidized by taxpayers' dollars. As a result, my community has practically been starved to death from receiving investment capital, which has been prevalent in other communities, which results in a lack of commerce, employment, and a tax base. The Bedford Group has designed an aesthetically appealing building and adhered to all the Planning Commission's guidelines. I do want to make a note. The gentleman earlier today mentioned the Santa Rosa project in bankruptcy. I'm very familiar with that project. In my opinion, it was the community's fault for that devastation, as they didn't allow the developer to build what was originally planned for the property, which was 120 apartments and 64 sale condominium units. They didn't want the apartments, which would have been the first market rate, non-subsidized apartment built in the LA area in my generation. Their actions increased the cost and elongated the schedule, which I pray we are not repeating that today. We should applaud the Bedford Group for continuing to invest in our community. While Beverly Hills and other areas of Los Angeles may have their developers like Caruso, we have Charles Quarles, who knows what we need. He is born and he is raised in this community. For us not to support our neighbor, an employer, and the project sponsor is absolutely embarrassing in my opinion. Now let me spend a moment to talk about the traffic study. I also want to talk about all of the people who said that there's going to be additional traffic that's added as a result of this project. What people are failing to realize, including the traffic studies that I've seen, is the advent of technology. There are more self-driving vehicles that have been introduced as a result of that. The automotive industry is selling less cars today than they have in prior years. With the new Crenshaw line that is coming in, there will be another way in which people can get out of that area and just go down Stopper and get on the new Crenshaw line that is coming within the next year.
Excuse me, sorry ma'am, I apologize to interrupt, but I want to make sure, can we please keep our voices down while other people are speaking? It's important, we want to make sure everyone has an equal opportunity to talk and to address the commission and to share concerns. So I ask you, please don't interrupt the folks when they're up at the podium speaking to us. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you so much. So in conclusion, what traffic studies fail to actually take into account is what is happening in the future. It only looks at today and the past. What traffic studies need to do is look into the future and the technology changes that are happening across the country, if not the world. Therefore, I do request the Commission to approve the project to make our community great again. Thank you.
I'm Sandra Napier. I live at 4829 Southbridge. Most of the comments and oppose and approve of the public has already stated my view. I am opposed to this project mainly because of the traffic, but also because right now there is a gradual, slow gradual, but a gradual increase nevertheless in crime. And in our neighborhood, burglaries, robberies. Since the park corridors have been opened, we have experienced that in our neighborhoods right now. I don't hear if there was any study as a result of crime increase because of the 88 unit building going up. Also, I'm concerned that if the units are not sold, and if they're sold, they're going to be subleased. And I feel that in rental properties, this is where you will start getting this increase of burglaries and robberies. So I am opposed to this project. One thing that I've been in View Park for over 30 years. I've lived there on my property only 30 years. The last thing that we need is an increase in housing and people. We need an increase in commercial development on Slauson. We need traffic control on what you call between Fairfax, going on Stocker. And so there's a lot of other problems that we have right now. And I just think that having an 88 unit complex is going to exasperate the problem. And I'm sorry, I'm against it. I don't need it. I don't care who the developer is. I think he's picked the wrong property to build such a project. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Alita Mercier. I grew up, moved in 5216 Southbridge Avenue in 1962, and I live on West Boulevard in Angeles Vista. So I've watched the community turn full circle since 1962. I have 2 points. One is the intersection where Stocker, Overville, and La Brea have all come together. Always been very dangerous, and I think adding more traffic to that intersection will be asking for more trouble. And on the other point I want to make, I attended Windsor Hills Elementary School, which would be, if the project is approved, right above it. It was always a joy for me when I could hit that ball over the fence and run around there and pick it up. What I'm saying is we have to kind of think about those children that go to Windsor Hills Elementary School, going to that gate, and also looking down at the pool, as kids will do, or looking down at that particular property if it's approved to be built. That's something to take into consideration. Are the children at Windsor Hills Elementary School? And the last point I want to make, I think it would be great if the Bedford group would look into, for our neighborhood, which is changing, at a market or some sort of other commercial thing that's much needed in that neighborhood. We don't have a nice Nordstrom's rack. We don't have a market other than small neighborhood markets. So there are other things that's much needed, no matter if the community changes to millennials or people my age who, have become the seniors of the area. It doesn't matter. Commercial stores, markets, other than 99-cent stores and Dollar Trees, which we get. That's needed for our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
This is the last call for Janice Watson. And then the next 4 speakers are Walter Jones, Derek Richardson, Gerard Smith, and Anita Barnett.
So if you heard your name called, feel free to come forward. Welcome.
Hello,
Go ahead, begin.
my name is Derek Richardson. I live at 6102 South Citrus Avenue. Commissioners, thank you. But first of all, I'd just like to apologize to all of my elder neighbors for taking care of that community. I'm from the projects of Brooklyn, New York. And when I came here, that's where I wanted to live because of the way they kept it. They're not, we don't care, we want change. Real estate change is going to happen. This project is like putting a square in a round hole. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. You're talking about a historical neighborhood. House across the street from me is the Lone Guardians living. You can research, going up down Citrus Avenue where James Dean's movies were filmed. It doesn't fit. I do think that we can do something with it, work with the veteran group. I had challenges again, reach out to the neighbors on the press and say, how can we make this work? I had challenges. When I saw the video, all I saw was me, mine, and I. I didn't see me and us. This community is not like that. I'm from the projects. Okay? When I came into that community, I was used to jumping on the couches. You don't jump on the couches if you park on the hills. And I had to learn to understand that. So they will accept us. We want our young liberals to come in. We do. But you guys are highly intelligent. You know you are not going to go for $400,000, $700,000. You know that. There's going to be a bigger war. You can't say that he's going to give to just minorities because that's what? Discrimination. Come on. Only thing I'm asking you can smell something just isn't right. Something just not right. Our elders here deserve a lot more. Because the reason why he's not building on 120th Central, no disrespect to 120th Central, I'll be there tomorrow to Julie, is because of these individuals. They take care of that community. They didn't want to work with them. We're not trying to be unfair. We're not unfair people. But you just can't come and build that. That's not right. That's not right. Look at that. You go look at you. That's going to be like the big White House on saucer. It's going to be a landmark. I feel like communities go better together. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Gerard Smith. I too am from the East Coast. I'm originally from New Jersey. I've been in the View Park now for 14 years. I understand that California is increasing by the month. I've watched the development of Silicon Beach take place, and I've seen other developments. If you look downtown, there's cranes everywhere. Everything is being developed, which brings me to this point where change is inevitable. I do understand that we want to keep the integrity of View Park. That's why I moved there. I think it's a beautiful place for African Americans to reside. If you look throughout Los Angeles, there's not much territory where I can see a man who looks like me or a child that looks like my children. So for that, I applaud the project. And I do understand that everybody has an opinion, and they feel that their opinion is valid. I too feel my opinion is valid, just as the Bedford group feels that their development is valid for this community. I do understand that there has to be adjustments and change. You know, things are changing around us. We can either be a part of that change, or we can sit back and watch it change before us. So, with that being said, without being rude to anyone, again, I appreciate your comments. I just say, use ocular analysis to see what's going on around Los Angeles. This may give an opportunity for somebody that looks like us. I'm not being racist or anything, but it's a good feeling inside to know that I can look at this man who's a developer and wants to develop in a community that has affluent Black people. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the last call for Walter Jones and Anita Barnett. And the next four speakers are Joyce Taylor, Joanne Williams, Nina Turner, and Richard Price.
Welcome. Thanks for sticking it out with us in the afternoon. You want to give your name for the record? You go ahead and do that.
Okay, my name is Anita Barnett, and I currently live in the Bedford Promenade, which is a condominium, 102 units that was built by Mr. Flores, and I love it. However, I am in favor of the new project as it is a dream come true for me. I understand how the people feel that say that they're going to lose their view, but for me, I'm going to get a view. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that to say that everyone has different dreams. And because my dream is a view, that doesn't make it any less sad for you to lose your dream house. I noticed that when most of the people came up, they had lived in their homes 30 or 40 years, 50 years. That's a wonderful thing. And that was my experience when I moved to California from Brooklyn, New York. We purchased a house on 18th Street in West Boulevard, and we lived there for 35 years. And we were very happy there. However, the house was built in 1917, so my husband, during the days that he was well, he was able to fix everything and keep the house going. But as in life, shit happens. And that's what happened to us. My neighbor, who had 7 bedrooms, opened her home to sober living. And we didn't know at the time that sober living doesn't mean sober. However, my husband was very upset about the noise and what was going on next door. So after 35 years, we had to move. We moved to Leisure World, they call it the Woodland Woods now, and we lived there for 10 years. And after the death of my husband, I came back to California because I have 4 children and 9 grandchildren in Los Angeles. So I said there was no sense of them coming 50 miles to see me when I can get up and move. And I heard recently that if you don't move within 5 years, you're a hoarder. So I met the bill because I've been moving quite often. But I am so in favor of this project because I don't think that cars and traffic is a reason that we will not have progress. Before we moved to the Woodland Woods, we went to Long Beach to try to purchase a place there. We were looking for a condominium. And we had a lot of trouble in Long Beach. And so I'll tell anybody, be happy that those units are going to be there, because if you go to Long Beach or Beverly Hills, they're not going to let you in. That's our experience. And it might not be your experience, but it was our experience. And at any rate, the thing that I believe is that when you're in a home and you're raising children, that's what you need. But when you retire and you have an empty nest, you might be looking for something else. Thank God for the Bedford group, that as we move on in life, there's somewhere to go. And I'm looking forward to a unit way up on the 5th floor so I can see the ocean. And I hope that you'll wish me well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello. My name is Joyce Taylor, and I've been a resident of Quincy Hills for 39 years, and I'm not a hoarder. negotiate the purchase of the parcel located at the intersection of Stocker, La Brea, and Overview, and preserve that parcel as permanent green space for the Windsor Hills Park community. As you know, 3 of the 4 corners are developed green park space already, and developing the 4th corner as such would support the community's open space and walking paths that the county planners had earlier designed. As residents, we know we can't control all of the redevelopment and growth that is forthcoming. We accept that. However, we strongly believe that the 961 residential units now planned for the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza project will result in increased traffic congestion and air pollution, and that the board should take active steps to prevent further pollution. Furthermore, the intersection located in Overhill, Stocker, and La Brea is a far cry from being the safest to begin with. Residents like myself can always spot newcomers to this area as we watch them make illegal turns at the intersection and run red lights. I believe the board should step in and assist with striking the balance between the efforts to revitalize this community versus overwhelming it. We support the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza project that can accommodate the additional housing units. We respectfully ask that you review this project, as the vast majority of households in 90043 are overwhelmingly opposed to this project due to its negative impact on our community, traffic, and air quality. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so much for hosting so many of us. I was number 70 or whatever, and I said, I'll never get to speak, but I am. So thank you for taking so many of us in our comments. I'm a longtime resident of View Park. I've lived there over 40 years. I like to say I started when I was a little one, but the neighborhood has changed over the years, and I do concur with many of the comments that have been made earlier about not supporting the project. One gentleman said it was like trying to put a square in a round hole, and I do agree with that. It's just out of place. It may be a good project, but not for that location. And I just think it just makes my blood boil when I think about that project being there so close to so many of our homes. I don't think it would work. And I think I want to ask the commission to keep in mind the comments made by our president. He made some very important points, and many of the other people who are in opposition of the project. I'm not saying it's not a good project. I just don't think it's a good project for that area, for that location. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is the last call for Nina Turner and Richard Price. The next 4 speakers are Adrian Mayberry, Glenn Sato, Kenneth Williams, and Camille Ellison.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairman, Commissioners, and staff. I'm Nina Turner, and I'm in full support of the project today. I am a current resident of one of the Redford properties, and I can honestly say I'm blessed to have been able to purchase a property when I purchased it about 6 to 7 years ago. I currently have former friends and associates that attend UCLA with me right now who are, in a way, jealous of the fact that I was able to acquire mine at that time, because right now, us professionals, we're working every day, most of us in the legislative arena, they're having to have roommates, they can afford to live in the area, or they're living in areas on the outskirts and having to make long commutes every day. So it's kind of unfair to this generation who is paying into the tax base to not have the opportunity having the level of luxury and comfort and security that this area provides. So I would like to just implore people who are here, we enjoy the neighborhoods, we appreciate it. I understand the concerns about the parks. There's plenty of parks. There's Kennedy Park, that giant thing that's right across from the property. I understand the park portals, I understand the traffic. The level of service for the traffic in the area, if it is not a drastic change from what we're currently having, and if the studies prove that all of these proposed changes to the area are going to be as impactful, I say let's do it. Let's allow the people to move into this area. Yes, there's a lot of improvements and changes that are happening in downtown Los Angeles. They're making provisions for it. If the board sees that this project does not change what is happening in that area, why not? We have to make room for what the county is moving forward to promote, which is housing for the people who have lived and grown here. My family home is in South Los Angeles. I personally don't want to live in the area that I grew up in. I prefer to live where I've gone to school in and made my friends and I'm a single person, so I'm at the point where I want to acquire a home where I would need to have, a yard, etc. So having a condominium in this area for someone like me, I pay my property taxes, it's not a big deal. We get it done. They take care of the grounds. Everything is beautiful. It's scenic. It's just a wonderful place to be, and we're all comfortable there. We have seniors in our buildings, we have young people in our buildings, we have budding families coming through those buildings. So I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. They're saying that the type of renters that may potentially come into the area might cause crime. I don't agree with that. Crime is everywhere. There's homelessness that hasn't been addressed, so therefore the crime is coming from the people who are looking to take from those who aren't making room for them to be in that neighborhood or providing jobs in the area to address those economic issues. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Adrienne Mayberry. I just have a few comments. Again, the traffic issue, we've all talked about it. We haven't talked as much about the safety. There is a blind spot on Overkill. I don't know if you're aware of that. I don't believe there will be adequate parking for all the cars that will be there, particularly when we're talking about focusing to a large degree on young people who tend to own cars and have guests, have parties. There is a parking lot at the little, the Stopper Overkill crossing that was discussed before, where all the fruit trees are. I can envision people parking there, staggering across or back across, trying to get traffic in at the party, and you can't see them anyway. There's not lighting. There's no sidewalk on Overkill. So I don't want to do them. I may not know I have until they're now. Just saying. This has never been a first-time home buyer community. That's not what the intention was. I have 3 millennials, 2 of them own homes. They don't know where we are. You don't start out where your parents end up. People don't know. I know when I was first looking for a house, and my husband and I were looking in Windsor Hills and New Park, because that's where I grew up, and he told me, he said, well, was that your parents' first home? I said, no, we lived on Urson, we lived in Genesee, then we moved to Honor-Crest. And I'm like, well, why do you think you're supposed to start out where your parents ended up? And I think that's a very valid point. And I don't know, I know that there's an entitlement mentality in some of the younger people, and sometimes we just have to recognize that yes, they're working hard, and they're working a lot of them harder than they ever anticipated, because our economy is a lot more difficult. But you can't expect people to just give you something because you want it. I don't know any of us who have had that happen. That's all I have to say about it.
Hi, my name is Glenn Sato, and I was born and raised in Santa Monica to work with It was dad could work, mom could stay home, so that's what happened. I was real lucky that way. The neighborhood I grew up in is exactly like the neighborhood I live in right now. And I love it because we look out for each other, we talk to each other, and I really enjoy this community. They welcome me, it was great. So I worked really hard to buy this first home. it's my dream home, basically, I got super lucky. So the challenge to buy your first home has always existed for every generation. So I don't, like the lady said before me, it's impossible to buy where you dream of. You have to start small and work way up. My concerns are basically the following. I'm afraid that if you allow the height limit to be basically demolished, everyone after will then build over height, and they'll have no recourse. I don't know how this works, but I don't want to open that door. The next is digging next to the earthquake fault. If you drive on Overhill, there is a large crack. If you drive, it goes all the way across the street, goes through Alicia's home, it goes through the schoolyard. 4 years ago, it was repaired, and now it's back to probably an 8-inch drop. It's moved out, so it's time to move, but you can catch air on it if you go fast enough. So I invite you to drive that road and check it out. So 4 years, it's shifted again. The next thing is about the ingress and egress from the project. By only allowing them to go this way, there is going to be a tremendous amount of traffic on every side street that leads to Slauson, that leads to La Brea, that leads to Angeles Vista. And the ways, of course, has helped. But if you just look at homicides, you can figure out on a map which way you can get through. But my street on Crest has seen an increase in traffic, and the tenants of this place are going to be using our streets to shortcut their way home and make their way out. So traffic is inevitable, but I think that if we can build smart, have some great planning, and build it without underground parking, that would be very much appreciated.
Thank you.
This is the last call for Kenneth Williams and Camila Ellison. The next four speakers are Brian Clinton, Irma Williams Bradley, Najee Ali, and Otis Riley.
Great. If you have your name called, you can come forward. You have 3 minutes, but again, recognizing our time constraints, if you feel like what you want to say has been said, you don't need to use your full free, but of course you're welcome to. Welcome. You can have a seat up here in the front. Thank you. Welcome.
Well, I feel really grateful to get to this point of the day because I felt like I was home at all. My name is Irma Williams Bradley. I happen to have been in the community and I bought my house when my grandmother said, "Why are you paying so much?" And I paid $142,000 for it. So here we are. And at that time I was in my 30s. I'm not there any longer, but I do live where I am totally going to be impacted by your new project. I'm in banking, and I'm always happy to help new home buyers get a new home. However, unless the project is the CRA tracking for makes the CRA eligible, then it's not going to be just for the low down payment of 3% or 5%. And because this project is sitting on a perfect spot to have a very great view. Now, the project that is down on Santa Rosalia is fabulous because it's in a commercial area where we can handle that massive amount of ingress and egress. 5 Points cannot. My home is 4501 Galdina Place. It's a cul-de-sac, but it borders Overhill. We currently now have, my husband works at UCLA, to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning to get to work in 20 minutes as opposed to leaving at 7:30 when he normally would, and it takes him an hour and a half to get to work if he leaves at 7:30, just to get 9 miles up the road. To get from out of Overhill and Slauson, if you haven't driven there lately, just about everyone has, because if you're coming off the 405 freeway, or if you're coming from the airport, you are going to cross 5 Points. Because you don't want to stay on the 405, you want to cut through. I've seen every president come through there and make their way across Stockard to get their way to downtown LA. It's wonderful that we have our traffic, new rails and what have you, but people are still using their cars. The LA County, as
far as lighting, for getting just down Slauson is a nightmare. Our community down the road, and with their height, is totally impacted by us just trying to get off the hill. Trying to come home at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, coming up La Cienega, you cannot turn left on Stalker and La Cienega. The car left turns area is not even long enough to handle 50 cars that need to turn left. We can't get in and we cannot get out. So here we are talking about an 88 unit. They're great, there's several nice condominiums right there in our area. Terra Nova, it's about 22, maybe 18 units. It's not 88 looking for a view. I helped a lot of folks get in that. I helped a lot of people get into the Bedford area, but it's CRA track and it has a designation of low to mod. This project, to give us 5 or maybe 10 units that are going to be designated, they won't get any provision of financing. They're only just going to be designated with an exclusion. Okay, so when you get ready to turn around and resell, you've got to sell it to someone who has like for like. So there's a whole different thing. My friends that are up here at Bonacrest, that are going to be right behind this unit, an 88 5-story, take it down to 22 units. It's a really aesthetically nice project. But their appraisal is going to be impacted by value. And as you all are homeowners, I'm sure on this committee, you know what $25,000 can do to your value. Okay? So they're going to lose 25 to 50,000 just because they will abut a unit.
Sorry, ma'am, I hate to cut you off. We're past your time. So if you want to just conclude real quick. That's it?
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Last call for Ryan Clinton, Najee Ali, and Otis Riley. And this is the final 5 speakers. Michael Alatorre, Charlotte Thompson, Tomas Johnson, Oliver Boyd, and Ware Colton.
You just heard your name called. Feel free to make your way up to the front. Welcome. Thanks for sticking around with us into the afternoon. If you want to say your name for the record, you can go ahead and begin.
My name is Charlotte Thompson. And there's been a lot of talk about the community and the price of the homes, and people want to move in and they can't afford it. I lived in New Park for 3 years. I didn't start out in New Park. I started out in an area I could afford. And I moved up to New Park. And that's just like anywhere else. It's a special neighborhood. We take pride in our neighborhood. And there are other communities. I might want to move to Bel Air. If I can't afford it, I can't move. The community does not change just because of your wants and needs. It's not fair. And it's also, it's a community. We're not saying there not to be any development, but to not talk to the community that the development is going to reside in and come to some compromise is unreasonable. It's not fair. We all pay taxes, and we take pride in our communities. And we're not asking them to not put anything there, but listen to the community and respect the community that it will reside in. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, members of the commission, my name is Najee Ali, a longtime Black South LA activist who's lived in the Red Park area for the last 20 years, which is not too far from the proposed development. And I am in full support of the Bedford project. I think it's very important that we realize there's a crisis in housing in our part of the city. And at the end of the day, that development is proposed is something that my family is able to afford. So for me, I think it's very important that Black professionals have an opportunity to buy in our own communities. And I also want to speak, once my last 2 minutes, to Black folks. My neighbors, my family, my community. I was respectful when everyone else spoke. I'm just saying, I'm speaking to my community. My wife is a 23-year veteran of armed forces.
Sir, can I, just one moment, I just wanted to, please, again, we've made it this far, we're almost 1 o'clock. Everyone who wanted to have an opportunity to speak, and that's what this day is about being and hearing voices. So, absolutely. So what I'm going to ask is 2 parts. One, let's let everyone have a moment, an opportunity to speak like everyone else did so that we can hear all sides of this, every perspective. Okay? Appreciate that. We can make sure that we're hearing everybody's voices and everybody's concerns. At the same time, I do need to ask that you address comments to the commission because that's sort of what the...
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. As I was saying, my wife is a 23-year veteran of U.S. Armed Forces who's risked her life all over the world who was fighting for our country, from Iraq to Afghanistan. She had to be alone a few months ago where she went to a house in Corona for like $550, 4-bedroom, 2,500 square feet. We went and looked and we almost bought it. And at the last minute, I had to change my heart and say, no, I want to live in Crenshaw, the Murray Park, Baldwin Hills area. So we changed our mind, not because we couldn't buy the house, but because I love Black people. I love Kwanzaa. I love the King Day Festival. And I wanted to make sure that we stay in our community moving away because, in my opinion, traffic isn't the biggest danger in that part of the community. It's gentrification. To me, that's my opinion. I'm not racist, but at the end of the day, I want my daughter to continue to be in African-American school where she can learn our culture, our values, and have a chance to play with kids that look just like her. So for me, that's why I said I want to support this project, because Mr. Quarles, we're not buddy buddies. I just met this man this morning. And at the end of the day, I know his work is respected in the community. He's an icon. Not only that, as a successful business person, he's a philanthropist and he's a humanitarian. That's what I know him by. So I took off work today to come support this project because I know he does good work in the community. So for me, I support this project 100%. And just as an African American, we can agree, disagree respectfully on issues. Because at the end of the day, I love my people. I love my people. That's why I stayed in the Murray Park area. So in my closing, I would ask the commission to please vote yes on the Bedford project. Thank you.
Thank you.
There was one person whose name I forgot. I feel
Can you repeat the name? I'm not sure. Yeah.
Scarlett Quarles.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Or good afternoon this morning. Again, my name is Scarlett Quarles. I'm Marketing Director for the Bedford Group. But more importantly, I have been a resident of the 2nd Supervisorial District for over 35 years. I grew up in Ladera. I attended Parent Elementary School, and I have lived in the View Park community for over 20 years in the home that my father built on Kingley Avenue. But as you can see, there is a generational divide when it comes to this development, to the development of this project. As Aaron mentioned earlier, we have over 370 signed petitions of support, with the majority of those being from individuals who have not made Some of our supporters that you have called and have not been able to speak had to go back to their 9 to 5. They are not retirees like many of those here in opposition. One of the most disheartening things I've heard from some of the opposers from the United Homeowners Association is that I don't deserve to live in this community, and that it's not my generation's time to live in this community. Someone encouraged me to look outside my neighborhood. She told me to consider Culver City or Leonard Park until I could afford to move back into the new Park Winter Hills community. Why? When some of my peers are already here. Well, with the developments that my father has already built in the Baldwin Hills area, my generation has been able to afford to move back into the communities in which we were raised. Our primary buyers have been single, minority professional women like myself, with some of our home buyers already have earning over $200,000 in equity from their property. For over the past 15 years, they have been providing first-time home buyer opportunities for young professionals as well as for couples and empty nesters who have wanted to downsize and remain in the area because the care of their home was just too much. And this is true for this development, the View. I support the project not only because I believe in it, but I also plan to purchase one for myself because I do deserve to move back to purchase in the community in which I was raised, despite the opposition. While this is a single-family community, I do have to know that there are condominiums in other upscale communities like Beverly Hills, and Century City. I support open space. There are already two parks adjacent to the site. I'm also a board member of the Baldwin Hills Conservancy, where I have been for the past 5 years. In fact, the Quimby funds from our Terra Nova project contributed greatly to the redevelopment of the Norman Old Eastern Park. In terms of outreach, we have hosted several meetings over the past year and have changed several aspects of the project. We even knocked on the doors to even have a gun drawn on us by a homeowner on OwnerFest, and we attempted to talk to him about the project. We've also attempted to meet with 6 homeowners along OwnerFest, but were only invited by the elderly gentleman whose letter was read earlier today. The others did not speak to us. Lastly, in terms of traffic, the majority of the current increase comes from the development of the Metro line along Crenshaw